Hello and welcome to the Business Standard Banking Show. Religare Enterprises has recently announced that its wholly owned subsidiary Religare Finvest has completed the one-time settlement with 16 lenders by making a full and final payment of 400 crore, which was well in advance of the deadline. Religare Enterprise also said that the settlement paves the way for restarting the business of Religare Finvest, a company that lends to the MSME sector. To talk more about Religare's future plans, we today have Rashmi Saluja, Executive Chairperson, Religare Enterprises Limited. Ms. Saluja, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Manojit.
Now that you have paid all the dues to the lenders and you will probably get a new no due certificate soon, what is your immediate priority?
In fact, this one-time settlement has been a long journey that we have come through almost 4 years. And 4 years, in these 4 years, we tried the debt restructuring and then finally the one-time settlement happened. But during these 4 years, when this thing was in progress, we had already paved and planned the way forward for Religare Enterprises and its subsidiaries. And we've been working on that for a while now. And if you want to know what is the plan for the entire group, so that is what I would like to mention here. Religare Enterprises is a CIC company and it is investing in its subsidiaries and is also open for the investments where certain strategic investments can take place for the organization for its synergistic growth and strength way forward. So we have these 4 subsidiaries. One is Care Health Insurance, which was earlier Religare Health Insurance, and which is a standalone health insurance company, which is fastest growing in its own space. In fact, during the whole COVID also, it worked extremely well with the strength of 57% growth trajectory. Then we have Religare Finvest, for which you're just talking about the one-time settlement. It has had its glorious days, and then of course it went through a difficult patch because of siphoning off and the mismanagement of erstwhile promoters and management, which is now a new company and which is now going to grow its strength in the MSME space and also certain niche areas that company has worked for a couple of years to understand the market, understand the global economy, understand the domestic economy, and how the mindset of the present banking sectors work. So based on a very robust and very researched platform, we have decided that we would be going in a very granular book creation, and then we would definitely be working on doing a niche space in the healthcare sector. We would like to participate in the agri sector because healthcare and agriculture, these are 2 sectors which the progress of the country also depends on. And this is a very revolutionary platform to work upon. Then, of course, we have a broking and securities, which is, in fact, the oldest flagship company of our organization. It is 25-year-old, and we want to build up a very robust platform for that. It is doing extremely well. And then there is a housing company, which is RHDFCL, which works on a space of affordable housing sector, which is again the requirement of the country. And Prime Minister has been talking a lot about Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. And we also feel this is a sector and a group which we want to be creating a very strong platform. And this is right now a subsidiary of RFL, which we want to bring at REL level. So these are the existing strengths that we have to actually cover up.
Now, coming to some specific issues, now when do you expect the RBI's prompt corrective action framework to be removed?
So, RBI as a regulator is very defined in its regulatory processes. There is nothing left for interpretation. So that is a very good idea. So any company like ours, which has to come out of CAP, which is Corrective Action Plan, it has to go through its processes. And those processes, if you're able to, meet up with, then the Corrective Action Plan process starts. And exactly that's what I want to say. After yesterday, that day before yesterday, then we completed our one-time settlement, and then based on it, the entire parameters of RFL, whether it is CRAR and other parameters that meet up the cap, we do fit into that category. And subsequent to that, it's not a very tedious process. And I'm very hope that moment we get the no due certificate from the lenders, we will be going ahead and applying for cap, and it should look like that it is 1.5 month process. And because the entire development of the company and health of the company, RBI is well aware of, so there is nothing which the regulator does not know about us. We have to just be informative more about once the notice comes.
There was also a plan to raise a 600 to 700 crore via QIP. When do you plan to expect that to happen?
We are waiting for one-time settlement, and one-time settlement has been very unique to the organization because for one-time settlement, the money that we provided for came from the recovery and the collections within the organization. So we did not disturb the shareholders and the lenders for actually raising this particular money. This was the money which has come through the hard work of the management, and that is something which we take pride in. Now there's the time for unlocking the wealth and also, get into other organizations or other companies, whether through organic or inorganic way, whether through merger acquisition or to start on its own. The reason is that we want to become a 360-degree financial services company. And for that, we have certain, projections for ourselves and certain targets for ourselves to get into ARC, AIF business, wealth management, and a similar synergistic business which company with the existing management can start with, and also hire some very strong people to drive these organizations forward. And for this particular reason, we need certain capital to come, and around 600 to 700 odd crores is what we are looking at. And once we will be taking our plans to the existing shareholders and to the potential shareholders who have extremely shown interest in us, then of course this will be next 3 to 4 months time, because it will take a month before we can, as you were just asking, when will the cap is removed. So one moment that is done, so maybe next 2-3 months time, this is what is looking forward as.
Since Religare will be now in a growth path, will come back in a growth path. They have identified areas where to grow. So are there any existing shareholders who are keen to increase their stake through the QIP process?
In fact, when we do the preferential round or when we do a QIP, I'm sure the first, ask for us would always be the shareholders who have supported us through thick and thin. We'll be very happy if they would actually participate in this and increase their shareholding. Why wouldn't we like to do that? Because they understand the DNA of the company. They have supported the board and the management and also the way forward plans. So yes, that will automatically, once it comes for them to invest, that will also be a very natural process. We are also open to other institutional investors also to participate in Religare if they do believe that this company has its strength. And we have over a couple of years, in fact, look at the growth trajectory of the company. All the other companies except RFL, which is yet to start the business, has become profitable. And we are basically, the lead companies in their own sectors. So I'm sure the investors existing and others would be very happy to participate. At least this is what I think.
Now, coming particularly to the Finvest, what are your growth plans for the Religare Finvest? Say for over the next 3 years, where do you see the loan book is growing?
So, actually, the stabilizing the company is most important. Once it is a stable company and once it is fully compliant company and the governance is something which the company would project and would work on as its major pivot, then of course the lenders and other people who want to in fact invest in the company and the banks, they become more confident and more they trust the platform much better. So our first endeavor is for 1 year, we would, in fact, in the last couple of years, what we've done is while the process of OTS was still going through, we ensured that we understand the market, we understand the business, create a business plan. That is what we have done. And we have also hired some very good resource to run these businesses as well. So while the collection would continue, there'll be business which will move forward. We have identified the states, which would be the states where we would like to have a presence forward, and what are the areas. So areas that we, as I was just mentioning, we are going to create a very granular book. We are going to be focusing ourselves into MSME space. And that also we have to create the niche area that we are very, very hopeful that will work well. We are hopeful that the healthcare sector that we have researched, we have a care health insurance company, so we understand the DNA of how the healthcare sector moves. So that is one area that we are very bullish about. And we are also very hopeful on the agri space. And the teams have really done research. So we would be, in first year, we are going to be utilizing our own fund, which comes through the recovery and the collection, so that when we create a robust platform, we have got out of it, now are getting out of cap, and then successfully running or starting a business. Once we are able to showcase our strength, then of course from next year onwards, we will be reaching out to the markets and to the banks, because we will be constantly needing the bank support, because raw material is money. So we are not in a hurry. I always say that we're not orthodox, but we're very conservative. So we are going to be very, very strongly talking about how strong our risk mitigation factors are going to be. And based on it, this year is stabilizing, next year is the growth.
Now, coming to Care Healthcare, the health insurance arm of Religare Enterprise, is there a plan to unlock value of this particular entity?
In fact, there has to be, first is to create a value and then to unlock the value. That is the logical conclusion of any organization. And we are definitely moving in that direction, not only for care, but for broking also, where for broking, we have got a set target for next 2 years to actually get a IPO.
Right.
And also for, as I was trying to tell you, that we have to do justice to our shareholders, we have to do justice to the management and all the other stakeholders who have supported the organization. And because of them only, we have created a value in care and other subsidiaries. So yes, value unlock is a very important factor for us. And we have to ensure that whatever we do, whatever process that we take for doing a value unlocking has to be totally as per the regulatory compliances. So we will do a backward integration in value unlocking. First, we will ensure that what are the guidelines, how IRDA is actually are the prescribed guidelines. And if we fall fit into those guidelines as far as value unlocking is concerned, whether it is through a demerger, whether it's through an IPO or any other methodology that we feel is the comforting zone for us and for other stakeholders, which includes IRDA, we are definitely moving in that direction.
So basically, you're saying that the value unlocking will depend on the regulatory comfort, what kind of guidelines or guidance they are providing.
Absolutely, because I feel that it is the best way forward in any regulated entity is to look at the regulator and how they would like you to perform. Intention based on the regulatory guideline is the best way forward, and that is the reason why we have reached where we have reached. So we are not going to turn our blind eyes to it.
And finally, you said Religare has also plans to enter the asset reconstruction business. What could be the reason behind this?
One is our own experience. One is how strongly we collected money and how we understand it has been the recoveries. We understand the market very well. 9,000 crore is what we collected in 3 years. Second is that the management is very focused and they understand this particular strength. And ARC is also an important tool in the financial market. And as I was telling you, we really need to become a 360-degree financial services company. And, we have actually evaluated our own strength within the organization. And based on that, I'm saying that AIF, ARC, digital wealth management is exactly important. But all the businesses that we do, we are going to create a very, very strong and a robust technology platform. In fact, each company is actually moving towards that, and every company has, even NBFC is going to be totally fintech. And that is one way forward, because that also helps in the transparency of the governance. And that is also how RBI is looking forward, that technology should be very strongly integrated in any business that we do.
On that note, thank you so much for speaking to Business Standard. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you, Manojit.
Thank you.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views, and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and LinkedIn.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that lets success soar high. I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.